Despite never being used as a summit finish in the Tour de France, the Col du Glandon is still an iconic climb. And even though it may not seem very intimidating at just 4% average gradient, once you reach the summit after 27.4 kilometres, you'll feel very, very differently. So now, there's only one thing left to do. Let's go ride it. The first thing that must be said about the Col du Glandon is its deceiving average gradient. At just 4.8%, it makes you wonder what all the fuss is about. However, after you spin out and around the Barrage du Vernet at the base of the climb, the road begins to ramp up towards 7 to 10% and holds this for around 6 kilometres. The Glandon is not only known for its appearances at many editions of the Tour de France, but also for its role as the first climb in the legendary Grand Fondo, La Marmotte. It is easy to get carried away on the Glandon if you're riding La Marmotte, partly because of the large groups of cyclists around you, all with fresh legs as you ascend towards the summit. However, regardless if you are riding in the sweltering summer of July with thousands of other cyclists or alone in the cooler and earlier seasons of May, the Glandon demands respect at over 24 kilometres in length. After 10 kilometres into the climb, you reach the settlement of La Rivière de Almont, the perfect opportunity to fill up bottles or stop at the cafe for some replenishments. The steady gradient you had in your mind at the start of your ascent is now nowhere to be seen, as you start to grind your way up to the second section of the climb, which hits you with an almighty bite. If you can keep plugging away through this steep and straight section that will test you both physically and mentally, you will have the psychological lift that you have conquered the toughest part of the climb. As you drop down off the steep shelf back into the wooded section, you will once again come across multiple hairpin sections that are much more manageable gradient. The continued descent will result in you facing up against the imposing Barrage de Grand Masson, which you will gradually rise above and into the sweeping meadows. If the weather is kind on the day of your ascent, this is the first time you will see the summit of the climb. However, on other days, fog will still cloud your view. Another short downhill section allows for some slight respite, before the final 2.5 kilometres of climb to go as you weave upwards for the final time. With around 300 metres to go, you will reach a crossroads. It will either take you to the summit of the Col de la Croix de Fer or to the top of the Glandon. Take the left turn for the final kick towards the top. Once you reach the summit at 1,924 metres, you may well be subjected to a complete whiteout as the fog rolls in. Or if you are lucky, treated to stunning views back down the climb you've just conquered, or over towards the north side into the Maurienne Valley, which is also a stunning ascent in its own right. Regardless of what view is on offer to you, the Glandon is a climb that you want to ride over and over again.